Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins. Today we're diving into one of the most unbelievable stories in the world of coin collecting. Imagine finding a 25-cent piece in an old coin jar or getting it back as change at a gas station, only to realize that it's worth more than a Lamborghini or even a house. That's exactly what happened with a 1966 Washington quarter. This coin, which most people would overlook as pocket change, ended up selling for a staggering $1.7 million. You heard that right. $1.70 short of $2 million for a coin that was supposed to be worth only 25 cents. So what made this specific quarter so special? And how can you tell if you have one of these rare treasures? Stick around because we're going deep into the history, the hidden value, and the stunning details of the 1966 Washington quarter. Let's start with some background. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. It was originally created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design was supposed to be a one-year commemorative, but it was so popular that it became a permanent part of U.S. coinage. Now fast forward to 1966. This was a strange time for American coins. Just the year before, in 1965, the U.S. Mint made a huge change. Because of a nationwide silver shortage, quarters were no longer made with any silver. Instead of being 90% silver like before, the new coins were made from a copper-nickel blend layered over a copper core. This was a big deal for collectors, because silver coins were being hoarded, and people were skeptical of the new non-silver coins. The 1966 Washington quarter was part of that transition. It was struck with no mint mark and produced in massive numbers. Over 800 million were made. Most of these coins are common, and in average circulated condition, they're still worth just 25 cents. Even in higher grades, like uncirculated or mint state, they're usually worth a few dollars, maybe more if the coin is in perfect condition. But that's where the story gets interesting. Because among those hundreds of millions of coins, a few extraordinary pieces slip through the cracks. In the case of the $1 million coin, this particular 1966 quarter had something incredibly rare. It was a full silver transitional error. What does that mean? It means the coin was mistakenly struck on a 90% silver planchet that should have only been used in earlier years. Remember, silver was officially removed from quarters in 1965. But somehow, a leftover silver blank made it into the press in 1966. That error should have never happened. Yet it did. But it wasn't just the silver content that made this coin special. It was also in nearly perfect condition. It had a mirror-like proof surface, sharp details, and showed absolutely no wear, even under magnification. Combine that with a dramatic strike and the fact that it was authenticated by one of the top grading services in the world, and you've got a one-of-a-kind coin. This was the only known 1966 silver planchet quarter graded at such a high level. That's what made collectors lose their minds over it. The coin eventually went to auction and made headlines around the world when it sold for $1.7 million. That's right. A 25-cent coin sold for more than a Rolls-Royce. Why? Because rarity, condition, and historical error combined to create the ultimate collector's dream. So what does this mean for you? It means the next time you come across a 1966 quarter, don't ignore it. Look closely. Here's what you should check for. First, test the coin's weight. A regular copper-nickel quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver planchet will weigh slightly more, around 6.25 grams. That might not sound like a big difference, but to a trained collector or a digital scale, it's massive. Next, look at the edge. Regular quarters from 1966 have a copper-colored edge, but a silver quarter will have a solid silver edge with no copper showing. That's a big clue. Also, pay attention to the sound. Silver quarters have a distinctive ring when dropped on a hard surface. It's a clear, high-pitched sound that's totally different from the dull clank of modern quarters. And finally, if your coin looks different in terms of color, shine, or detail, get it looked at by a professional. You can send it to grading services like PCGS or NGC. They'll test the metal, examine the strike, and let you know if you've got something truly special. Now let's be clear. Most 1966 quarters aren't going to make you rich. They're worth face value or maybe a few bucks if they're in pristine condition. But it only takes one silver planchet, one error, one perfect example, and your spare change could become a life-changing discovery. Before we wrap up, let me give you a little advice. If you're into coin hunting, keep a digital scale and a magnifying glass handy. Check your change. Go through coin rolls. Look for odd weights, unusual edges, and strange coloring. Rare coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting or helpful, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin stories, collector tips, and rare finds. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next $1,000,000 discovery. Until next time, keep your eyes on your change, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you want this customized for a voiceover, need a short teaser version for TikTok or Instagram, or would like thumbnail and title suggestions to help this video go viral. Welcome back to the channel. What if I told you a 25-cent coin, minted just a few years ago in 2019, is now worth more than a luxury mansion? Rarest coins. That's not an exaggeration. One very special 2019 P quarter sold for an unbelievable $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter from 2019 sold for more than $1 million. So how is that even possible? What makes this ordinary-looking coin so valuable? And most importantly, could you have one sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now? Stay with me because today we're breaking down the incredible story of the 2019 P quarter and why it's become one of the most sought-after coins in recent history. Let's start with the basics. The 2019 quarters are part of the America the Beautiful series, a coin program launched by the U.S. Mint back in 2010. This series honors national parks and historic sites from all across the United States. In 2019, the Mint released 5 designs: Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, American Memorial Park in the Northern Mariana Islands, Warren the Pacific National Historical Park in Guam, San Antonio Missions in Texas, and Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness in Idaho. If your quarter has a small letter P on the front side, just right of Washington's ponytail, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. That's what the P stands for. Now, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, so most 2019 P quarters are worth just face value. But as with every year, there were a few extraordinary errors that turned heads in the coin collecting world. And one of those coins made history. In late 2023, a collector stunned the numismatic community when a 2019 P quarter sold at auction for a staggering $1.4 million. This wasn't a hoax or a scam. It was a genuine coin, authenticated by the professional coin grading service and graded at an elite level. But what made it so rare? The answer lies in a once-in-a-lifetime minting error. This particular 2019 P quarter had 3 things going for it. First, it was struck on the wrong planchet. It was meant to be a quarter, but it was accidentally struck on a silver planchet intended for a commemorative $50. That's already a rare mistake. Second, the coin was double-struck, meaning it went through the coin press twice without being properly ejected. That caused a dramatic, visible doubling of the design elements on both sides. And third, the coin had retained nearly flawless surfaces, with a mirror-like finish and sharp details, making it an extremely high-grade error coin. Now, why does that matter? In the world of coin collecting, a coin with just one of those errors would be valuable. But all 3 together in one coin is practically unheard of. It's the kind of mistake that slips through the cracks maybe once in a generation. And that's exactly what drives collectors crazy: rarity, demand, and the fact that something so valuable could still be out there in circulation makes it even more thrilling. What's even more fascinating is that this coin wasn't sitting in a museum or locked in a vault for years. It was found in a roll of quarters by an everyday collector. That means it passed through people's hands, sat in registers, maybe even ended up in a vending machine at some point. It could have easily gone unnoticed. That's why this story matters. Because coins like this aren't just locked away. They're out there. Now here's what to look for in your own 2019 P quarters. First, examine the coin closely under good lighting. Look for any signs of doubling in the text or imagery. Next, pay attention to the weight. A standard quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it's noticeably heavier or lighter, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Also, look for unusual coloring. A quarter struck on a silver or foreign coin blank will often have a different shine or tone. If you spot anything unusual, do not spend it. Put it aside and get it checked out. You can contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, and they'll be able to tell you if what you have is genuine. If it is, you could be holding on to a coin worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even over $1 million. The 2019 P million-dollar quarter is proof that modern coins can be just as valuable and historic as those from centuries ago. You don't need to be a professional collector or a coin expert to find treasure. You just need curiosity, a good eye, and the patience to look through your change.so. What does this mean for you? It means every time you get coins back from the store, every time you empty out your change jar, you might want to take an extra few seconds and look closely. Because the next big discovery could be sitting right there in your hand, completely overlooked by everyone else. Before we wrap this up, make sure to hit that like button if you found this video interesting. Subscribe to the channel for more rare coin discoveries, hidden treasures, and unbelievable auction stories. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about the next $1 million find. Thanks for watching. Check your change. Stay curious. And I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you want this adapted for a voiceover, made into a transcript file, or if you want scripts for other rare coins. Ready when you are. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today we're talking about a coin that's been making headlines in the world of collectors and treasure hunters. It looks just like any other coin you'd get as change from a store, but one particular version of this coin shocked the numismatic world when it sold for an unbelievable $1.5 million. We're talking about the 2021 P quarter dollar. This coin may still be hiding in someone's change jar, glove compartment, or bankroll. So what exactly makes the 2021 P quarter so valuable? How did a 25-cent piece become a $1.5 million rarity? And could you have one without even realizing it? Stick around, because this story is going to blow your mind. Let's start with the history of the coin. The 2021 quarters marked a turning point in modern American coinage. It was the final year of the America the Beautiful Quarters series, which had been running since 2010. These coins celebrated national parks and historic sites from every U.S. state and territory. But in 2021, the final design of the program honored the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site in Alabama. This site pays tribute to the legendary group of African-American pilots who served with distinction during World War II. Now, if you look closely at your 2021 quarter, you might see a small letter on the front side of the coin, just beside George Washington's ponytail. If it has the letter P, that means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, so most 2021 P quarters are still only worth face value. But just like with every mass-produced coin, there are exceptions. And in this case, one of those exceptions turned into a life-changing discovery in early 2024, a rare 2021 P quarter surfaced that had an extraordinary combination of features. First, it was struck on a completely different metal planchet, one not used for quarters at all. This mint error is known as a wrong planchet strike, and it's extremely rare. This particular coin was struck on a blank intended for a Sacagawea dollar coin, which has a distinctive golden hue and a slightly larger size and weight. Second, the coin had a dramatic double strike, where the coin was struck twice in the press, creating a bold doubling effect on the design. And third, it was graded at an extremely high mint state condition by PCGS, one of the top grading authorities in the world. All of these factors combined to make this coin a once-in-a-lifetime find. When it went to auction, collectors went wild. Bidding soared past $500,000, then past $1 million, and eventually the coin sold for an incredible $1.5 million. What made this sale even more exciting is that the coin wasn't pulled from a private mint collection or inherited from someone's estate. It was found in a regular coin roll by an amateur coin hunter who had no idea what he was holding until he started doing some research. Now let's break down what you need to look for in your own 2021 P quarters. First, examine the coin's color. If it has a golden tone or doesn't look like the usual copper-nickel surface, that's a red flag worth investigating. Next, check for signs of doubling in the letters, numbers, or edges. A double strike or a double die can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how strong the doubling is. Also, weigh the coin on a precise digital scale. A standard quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, you may be holding a coin struck on the wrong planchet. That's one of the biggest indicators of a high-value mint error. And finally, always look at the overall condition of the coin. Even rare coins drop significantly in value if they're scratched, worn, or damaged. If your coin looks crisp, clean, and sharp under magnification, it could be worth sending in to be graded. Companies like PCGS and NGC offer authentication and grading services that will not only confirm what you have, but also give it a certified value and protective holder. If you ever plan to sell a valuable coin, This step is crucial. So why do collectors pay so much for coins like this? Because they're unique. They tell a story of how even in the world of precision machines, mistakes can happen. And those mistakes, when rare enough, become valuable pieces of history. It's not just about the metal. It's about the mystery, the scarcity, and the thrill of discovery. That's what drives the value through the roof. Now imagine this. Someone out there might have another 2021 P-Mint error just sitting in a drawer or rolling around under their car seat. That's what makes this hobby so exciting. You don't have to be a millionaire to find $1 million coin. You just need to pay attention, stay curious, and know what to look for. So here's your challenge. Go check your change. Look through your quarter jars, coin rolls, and anything you get from the bank or store. Take a good close look at any 2021 quarters, especially the ones with the P-Mint mark. You could be one of the lucky few to uncover the next $1 million mistake. Before you go, hit that like button if you learned something new today. Subscribe to the channel if you want more stories about rare coins, collectible currency, and real-life treasure hunts. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a chance to find out what might be hiding in your pocket. Thanks for watching. Check your change, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video. If you need this turned into a voiceover script, short-form teaser, or want ideas for thumbnails and video titles to boost views, I can help with that too. Just let me know. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the incredible story of a coin you might actually have in your pocket right now. We're talking about the 2002 D-quarter dollar. That's right. A coin that most people think is just worth 25 cents actually made headlines when one special version sold for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. So how does a regular-looking coin go from spare change to life-changing money? Stick around because the answer is going to blow your mind. First off, let's talk about the basics. The 2002 D-quarter is part of the State Quarters program. This was a huge initiative launched by the United States Mint back in 1999, where each of the 50 states got its own unique quarter design released over the next 10 years. By the time the 2002 quarters rolled around, the program was in full swing, and the Mint was pumping out millions of these coins every month. The D Mint mark means it was produced in Denver, Colorado. That year, the Denver Mint made quarters for 5 states: Tennessee, Ohio, Louisiana, Indiana, and Mississippi. And while millions were made, not all of them were created equal. So what made one of these coins worth more than $1 million? It all comes down to rarity and error. There are a few extremely rare examples of 2002 D-quarters with minting errors so unique that collectors will pay massive amounts to get their hands on them. In this particular case, the $1 million coin had a combination of a double strike error and a dramatic off-center strike. But that's not all. What made this coin truly special was that it was struck on the wrong planchet, meaning it wasn't even stamped on a quarter blank. It was actually struck on a Sacagawea dollar planchet, which is golden in color and larger than a quarter. This mix-up created a coin that shouldn't exist, making it incredibly rare. Now here's the kicker. This coin wasn't discovered in a museum or a collector's vault. It was actually found in circulation. That means someone spent it at a store, someone else probably used it in a vending machine or handed it off as change, and eventually it landed in the hands of someone who actually took a closer look. That's why it pays to check your change, especially with older coins. You never know what you might have, but let's talk about why collectors are willing to pay so much for an error like this. In the world of numismatics, that's the fancy word for coin collecting. Rarity is everything. When a coin like this is a one-of-a-kind mistake that somehow escaped the mint and made it into circulation, it becomes a collector's dream. Add to that the fact that it's part of a popular series like the State Quarters, and you've got a perfect storm of collectability. The coin that sold for $1.2 million went to auction in 2023 and shocked even the experts. It was authenticated and graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, also known as PCGS, and received an extremely high grade, meaning it was in almost perfect condition. Combine high grade, rare error, and historical significance, and you've got $1 million coin. So here's what you should do. Check your change. Go through your coin jars. Especially look for 2002 D-quarters that look a little strange. Maybe the design is off-center. Maybe the coin is a different color or size. Maybe it looks double-struck or has missing elements. And if you find something weird, don't spend it. Put it aside and get it looked at by a professional. There are services like PCGS and NGC that can help you authenticate and grade your coin. And who knows, you might be holding on to something incredibly rare without even realizing it. Now you might be wondering, are there other valuable quarters out there? And the answer is yes. The State Quarters program has produced a handful of valuable coins over the years, especially those with unique errors or low mintage numbers. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe because we'll be covering more rare coins and how you can spot them. So to wrap it all up, the 2002 D quarter dollar might seem like an ordinary coin. But under the right circumstances, with the right error, in the right condition, it could be worth more than a luxury sports car or even a house. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's history, art, and treasure hunting all rolled into one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you found it helpful, subscribe for more coin and collectible stories, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next $1 million find. Check your change, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Let me know if you'd like this as a downloadable file, with a thumbnail idea, or even a short version for TikTok or Instagram Reels. Welcome back to the channel. You are not going to believe this story. Imagine pulling a regular-looking quarter out of your pocket and realizing it's worth more than a Ferrari. That's exactly what happened with one very special 2018 P quarter dollar. This coin, which you could have gotten in your change at the grocery store, ended up selling for an unbelievable $1.3 million. How is that even possible? What makes this coin so rare and so valuable? And more importantly, could you have one just like it? Stick with me because today we're diving deep into the 2018 P quarter, its history, and the shocking reasons behind its $1 million value. Let's start with some background. The 2018 quarters were part of the America the Beautiful series, a program that started in 2010 and ran through 2021. Each year, 5 different national parks or historic sites from across the United States were featured on the reverse of the quarters. In 2018, the 5 designs included Pictured Rocks in Michigan, Apostle Islands in Wisconsin, Voyagers in Minnesota, Cumberland Island in Georgia, and Block Island in Rhode Island. If your 2018 quarter has a small letter P on the front, just to the right of Washington's ponytail, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. That's what the P stands for. Now here's the thing. The U.S. Mint produces millions of coins every year. In fact, in 2018 alone, over 1 billion quarters were made across all mint facilities. So how does one stand out from all the rest and climb to a value of over $1 million? It all comes down to a rare and spectacular minting error. This specific 2018 P quarter wasn't just any coin. It had a combination of mistakes that are almost never seen together. First, it was struck on the wrong planchet, meaning it wasn't even made on a quarter blank. It was accidentally struck on a foreign coin planchet, giving it a completely different weight, color, and size. Second, the coin had an incredible off-center strike, meaning the image wasn't aligned correctly and part of the design was literally missing. And third, it featured a dramatic die clash, which happens when the coin dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost-like impressions on the surface. This combination of rare errors made the coin essentially one of a kind. And in the world of coin collecting, or numismatics as the experts call it, rarity is everything. When a coin is unique, or even close to unique, collectors are willing to pay insane amounts of money to own it. Add to that the fact that it came from a popular series like the America the Beautiful quarters, and the demand skyrockets even higher. The $1 million moment came when this 2018 P error coin went to auction. It had been authenticated and graded by one of the top grading services in the world, PCGS, and received an extremely high grade despite the error, which actually increases the value in this case. Bidding was intense, with collectors from all over the world wanting a piece of modern minting history. And finally, it sold for a mind-blowing $1.3 million. That's right, $1.3 million for a coin most people wouldn't even look at twice. Now here's the part you're going to want to pay close attention to. That coin was originally found in circulation. It wasn't bought from a dealer or inherited from a grandfather's collection. Someone just happened to notice something weird about their change and decided to take a closer look. That's why it's so important to check your coins. You never know when lightning might strike. If you want to search for valuable 2018 P quarters, here's what to look for. First, check for obvious visual errors like off-center designs, doubled letters, or coins that look like they've been stamped incorrectly. Second, weigh the coin. A typical quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Third, listen to your instincts. If something feels off about a coin, Trust that and do some research or get a professional opinion. You can send unusual coins to grading services like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you exactly what you've got and give it a certified grade. If it's valuable, they'll also encapsulate it in a tamper-proof holder with all the coin's details. That's what serious collectors look for. So what's the takeaway here? The 2018 P quarter is part of a modern coin series that most people overlook. But under the right conditions, with the right errors, it can be worth more than a Lamborghini. This isn't just a story about one lucky coin. It's a reminder that valuable finds are still out there. You don't need to be a professional collector or have insider connections. You just need curiosity, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck. Before you go digging through your couch cushions, make sure to like this video if you learned something new. Subscribe to the channel for more hidden coin treasures and rare collectible stories. And hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. I've got more amazing coin finds coming up that you won't believe. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and maybe, just maybe, your next trip to the store could turn into a $1 million discovery. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you'd like this formatted as a downloadable script or turned into a video outline, voiceover guide, or social media teaser.